Animators love to add smears to their animation. But do you know why there are smears in the first place? In this video, we're going to discuss the science behind smears and how to use the concept to your animations. This video is part of our members only lessons. You need to become a member to access the full library, but we're giving this one lesson away for free. We hope you'll enjoy this lesson. So what is smears in animation? So let me show you an example. This is with smear, and this is without smear. So the smear in this example is just one frame. So it's easy to add smears to your animation, but the better question would be, why would you add smears and when should you add smears? So smears also happen in real life, and it happens because the movement is too fast and the recording device doesn't have sufficient frames per second to record every movement. So a recording device can be a camera, or our eyes can also be some sort of recording device, right? And the camera in front of me is recording at 24 frames per second. And let's say this movement. So that movement is too fast for the recording device to record. And if you pause the video, there is a frame where multiple movement is blended into one frame. Let me explain this in a different way. Let's say this is the full range of movement. And let's say it's 24 FPS. In reality, your eyes can probably perceive more than 24 FPS, but for the sake of this example, let's just say it's 24, meaning there are 24 frames in 1 second. And let's say your recording device can only capture 6 FPS, meaning it can only capture 6 frames for every second. I know that the modern recording device has a lot more FPS, but just to illustrate, let's say that the full movement is 24 FPS and the recording device is 6 FPS, just to simplify things. So this is a basic animation. It starts slow, then speeds up, and then slows down. Now let's see what happens if we capture this movement in only 6 frames. You will notice that for every frame in the 6 FPS device, it's already 4 frames that had happened in the 24 FPS version. And since it starts off slow, there's not much difference in the first 4 frames in our 24 FPS. So the 6 FPS can easily capture the movement in just 1 frame. The 1 frame in our 6 FPS, more or less, represents really well the 4 frames in our 24 FPS. Then let's proceed to the next frame in our 6 FPS version. Again, 4 frames have passed in our 24 FPS version. And here, a lot more has happened. Bigger movements, but it's not much. It's negligible. So it can still be represented well in just 1 frame on our 6 FPS. We can't blame our 6 FPS device that it's the best that it can do, right? I mean, it's close enough. We can let it slide. Then let's proceed to the next frame on our 6 FPS version. Now for our 24 FPS, a lot has happened here. In just 4 frames, it has covered a big distance. This is the part that it speeds up, right? So the 6 FPS can't get away anymore with just representing this in just 1 frame because now it's too obvious, right? So what happens is it's like we're fitting multiple frames captured in the 24 FPS into the 1 frame on our 6 FPS, and that results into a smear. Again, this is only an oversimplification of things. We just used 24 FPS versus 6 FPS earlier because it's easier to illustrate. But the real full range of movement is probably way more FPS than just 24. And if we try to capture the full movement in 24 FPS, or any FPS for that matter, the fast parts are bound to have smears. And what happens in your camera is that you're either going to have an after image or it's going to be blurred, or what we call motion blur. And that's what we're trying to replicate when we add smears to our animation. So there's usually a smear when the movement is too fast and you're lacking frames to convey the full movement. So we typically animate in 24 FPS, right? And we are animating on 2s. So it's technically like 12 FPS. And when the movement is too fast, there's going to be smears. So if you have an animation where you have a very big spacing, that frame is a candidate to add smears to it. The smear design can be anything. It's not really limited to 3 as I have it here, but you can just consider this as some sort of a starting point. So I made a sample animation. So I'm gonna bring this all the way to the start, and I'm gonna press enter on my keyboard. So this is my sample animation, and I'm just gonna turn on the onion skin. I'm gonna click this button here, and I'm going to drag this one all the way to the start so that we could see the whole animation. So it's just a basic accelerating, maintaining speed, and then decelerating. But I exaggerated this a bit. I exaggerated it in the sense that this is more than double the previous spacing. So as you can see, the progression is more than double. The reason is that so that I could add smears to this. So we really need that very quick animation so that we have a reason to add the smear. So I'm going to bring back my onion skin back to just this length. And I would now start with the first smear design. So now I'm going to reveal this one. So this is what I call a distorted view or an elongated version of your subject. So it's like this, right? This one's a circle, right? But it's elongated. It's not stretching, but it's more of a distorted look. So I'm just gonna go back to the first frame and then press enter so that you'll see what it looks like. So it looks like that. Now let's proceed to the next design. So I'm gonna hide this and reveal the smear _2. I'm gonna go back here at the start and press enter. So this is what I call after image. So let's go to this frame, and I'm going to turn off the onion skin. So basically, it's like an after image. It's like you see multiple instances of that subject. So I'm just gonna go through this frame by frame. So you see here, there's some sort of after image. And let me play this again. I'm gonna press enter. And now for the third design, so I'm gonna hide smear 2 and reveal and show smear 3. The third design is speed lines. So it's just adding these speed lines. Let me turn on the onion skin. And now I'm gonna turn it off. Let's go back to the frame 1, and then I'm gonna press enter on my keyboard. And that's what it looks like. If you're interested to learn more in detail on how to apply smears to your animation, then you can join our membership. Our membership has 3 tiers, and the lowest one, the Seeker tier, already has access to the full lesson library. We are going to start with the basics. We're going to go into the very core of frame-by-frame animation and tackle one concept at a time. We'll use Discord for you to post your drills and assignments, and we're also going to use Discord to send our feedback. If you're interested, click the join button below or click this link. Thanks, and I hope to see you in the next video.